Radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah, man. How you doing? Today's Monday, July 25th, 2022. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer, and UNX Networks. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? All right. Another amazing week coming up here on Fade to Black. Tonight, very special guest. Yeah, it's me. Tonight is our AMA. I had this scheduled a month ago, and I have been doing, my Jimmy thing on Monday nights, and I took a look at that and went, you know what? We'll go back to Jimmy maybe next week. We'll see. I've got too many guests and things that have to get booked in, but I put a pretty good dent in my thought process over the last month. That was a lot of fun, and I will continue to do that, though. I will continue to do it. But this week, another great week on Fade to Black. Tomorrow night, Nick Redfern joins us for a conversation about our strange world. And at the next month, Nick has got a new book coming out, and we will swing Nick back through on the night of the premiere. But tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about everything in our strange world with Nick. Always great when he's on the show. And then Wednesday night, well, I guess this is the week of Nick's. Wednesday night, Nick Pope is here, and we're going to be talking about government UFO programs. Huge week this week on Fade to Black. Thursday is another Fader night with open lines all night long, and we haven't had Fader night for a week now, which when it comes up, it'll be 2 weeks. But Fader night on Thursday night, open lines all night long. All right. Now, coming up next. Oh, I didn't do the post today. Okay. Coming up. What is today? Today is July 25th. So 2.5, almost 3 weeks from now. It'll be 3 weeks from tomorrow, I guess. I can't do the math on this. It's going to be Tuesday night, August 16th. I will be at UPARS here in Los Angeles, in Studio City, California. And it's going to be great. UPARS is back. Oh, man. 2-year break. UPARS is back. UPARSLA.org. If you are in Los Angeles, going to be visiting, you're in the area, you want to be in Studio City on August 16th. And I keep saying this, but it's very important that you understand. We only have seating for 200. It is going to sell out. It's going to be standing room only, and I want everybody that wants to go to be able to get in. So visit uparsla.org. UPARS, that's UPARSLA.org for tickets and information. And I'm going to have some friends with me. We're going to do a little mix of Fade to Black, and, I'm going to do some speaking and things. But it's just going to be great to hang out with UPARS. And so many close friends there. So that's it. Tuesday, August 16th. And also, I want you to get your free membership to the UNX Network at unxnetwork.com. It's easy to do, completely free. You will receive the monthly newsletter, blog access, event notices, and a free digital copy of their quarterly magazine. Also, they are giving away tickets. There's going to be a grand prize package and drawing for their Cape Girardeau conference that is coming up. And go to unxnetwork.com for information on how you can get in on that. And they're going to do a drawing live on the air for the grand prize winner. It includes hotel packages. And wow, okay, let's see. My daughter just sent me 3 texts at the beginning of the show to say hello. You're going to check. When your daughter texts you, she knows what I'm doing right now. It's like, what do you do? So I got to make sure that it's not an emergency. But there you go. Okay, where am I at? Yeah, so get in on that over at unxnetwork.com. Hotel, grand prize hotel and tickets. So go and check everything out at unxnetwork.com. And right now, Eden Pure for the thunderstorm. And it's so funny because Jonaside, I think he sent me an email today. Jonaside got his thunderstorms. And right now they are doing their 3-pack special. Buy 3 and save $200 and get free shipping. I've got these all over my house. I've got them in my car. I've got them in my home gym, my bunker in here, got one in the kitchen. You've got to get your air fresh. That's the only way. I have been working out. And, here's the thing with working out. When you first start doing it, and by the way, I got my hair cut. I wanted to lose some more weight, so I cut off 2 pounds of hair this weekend. When you start working out, you go through these weird stages, and this is my personal experience, but the first week or so, right? Right. And you're like, I wonder when I'm going to start sweating, but you get over that. And the next thing you know, you're sweating and you're stinking. That's just part of the game. You get that sweat buildup. And I had to get a thunderstorm in the home gym. It's gone. I'm so happy. If somebody comes over to the house, they can actually check the gym out, and I won't be embarrassed. They can go anywhere in my home now and smell a thunderstorm. Get yours right now. Save $200 and free shipping. The promo code is Fader3. The links are below. Eden Pure loves the Fadernauts, and thank you for your support. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Follow me right there on Twitter at JChurchRadio. You can follow me on Instagram too. I know I've been kind of slacking off on Instagram, and one of the reasons for it is oh man, okay, this is part of my personal life, but I'm just going to share this with you. I work on my guitars. I'm always working, and there's always every guitar in here. Oh, there's stuff behind me too as well. I'm looking at what's in front of me. All these guitars, they're in a constant state of flux, right? And so I got a fret polishing tool for one of my Dremels, and now I'm going back one at a time and resetting up and polishing frets with the Dremel. And it's an addiction. It's so bad. And so there you go. So I kind of slacked off on what I've been doing over there on Instagram. But the guitars are playing good, though. Yeah, they are. All right, tonight's our AMA. Ask me anything. And you can do this in a few different places. You can post up your questions over on Twitter, hashtag F2B. I would prefer hashtag F2BQ. And that makes it easier for me. Hashtag F2B is a very, very busy hashtag, but some of you are just creatures of habit and you cut and paste your hashtags. I get that. So I will keep my eye on things over there. If you post over in the chat room over on YouTube, please go with all caps, so I can scroll through and see your question. Post it in all caps. It will make things much, 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 much easier. That is a very busy chat room, as all of you know. Okay, so let's see. I got all of that out of the way. Oh, you can post on Facebook too as well. I've got Facebook. The radio page is up in front of me too. So if you're listening over there, I will try to monitor everything and get to all of your questions tonight. I love AMAs. And I love hanging out with. We're just a family, right? That's all we are. We're just a family. We just hang out. We just talk. And AMAs are special to me. So let's have fun with that tonight. And there you go. I lost 2 pounds of hair, but I ain't cutting my hair. Nope. 2 feet long braided. That's from Donna Griffin. Yeah, I cut my hair. I did. See, this is what's weird. So I go in, my hair was, getting long and I loved it. So I went in and I said, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to keep this, but I need this to go away. I'm doing taping and I've got stuff that I've got to do. I've got to clean myself up. She goes, no problem. So check it out. Really, honestly, all this, it's still there. And she did a good job. It's perfect. And it's off my neck so I can wear a suit jacket and look good. So, yeah, but it's still, yeah. So I didn't feel too bad. I mean, I couldn't believe how much hair. Man. It was a lot of hair. Saves on shampoo and conditioner. That's what that does. Cuts down shower time, too. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. The sandbox is hashtag F2B. Post your questions up there. Post your questions in hashtag F2BQ. Can't get your question in JChurchRadio tonight? Save it. English beat. Save it for later. That's funny. That's from Nicole Ramsey. See, I've got Twitter live right in front of me. TweetDeck is amazing. Let's get to the breaking news. Now, check this out. While studying diamonds inside an ancient meteorite, scientists have found a strange interwoven microscopic structure that has never been seen before. The structure, an interlocking form of graphite and diamond, has unique properties that could one day be used to develop super-fast charging or new types of electronics, researchers say. The diamond structures were locked inside the Canyon Diablo meteorite, which slammed into Earth 50,000 years ago and was the first discovered in Arizona in 1891. Absolutely incredible. It goes in layers, and they're hexagon shaped. Yeah, it's crazy. Instead of square. Yeah, it's pretty strange stuff. And only happens at high temperatures. That happens when a meteorite goes through the atmosphere. When a meteor goes through the atmosphere and then becomes a meteorite when it slams into the ground. That's a fader fact, by the way. Do you know why meteorites are called meteorites? Because of meteor grease. Look it up. That is one special place. Look up meteor grease. That's where the name comes from. China has once again opted to let a huge rocket stage fall back to Earth all on its own, uncontrolled. The decision is the third time the country has opted not to control the disposal of the first stage of a Long March 5B rocket. The U.S. Space Command, the 18th Space Defense Squadron, or Aerospace Corporation has not yet issued alerts on Twitter or social media. That's because nobody knows what's going on. Jonathan McDowell at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics said U.S. Space Command orbital data is showing the 21-ton stage floating all on its own. There you go. Nobody knows when it's going to come down. Should just fall down in China somewhere, and maybe they'll learn their lesson. Well, check this out. All right, I'm not making this up. This sounds like satire, but it is not. That's because a chess-playing robot just broke a boy's finger during a match in Russia last week. The president of the Moscow Chess Federation told state news agency TASS Media. Sergei Lazarev said that the incident occurred at the Moscow Chess Open. And quote from Sergei, a robot broke a child's finger. This is, of course, bad. End quote. Quote, the robot was rented by us, and it has been exhibited in many places by specialists for a long time. Apparently, the operators overlooked some flaws. You think? The child made a move, and after that, it is necessary to give time for the robot to respond. But the boy hurried, so they're blaming the kid, by the way. The robot grabbed him and broke his finger. We have nothing to do with the robot. Well, Lazarev, you rented the robot, which means during the rental period, you own it. So, yeah, you have everything to do with it. All of it. I'll report the lawsuit that's about to be filed when it happens. There you go. Elon Musk has denied having an affair with Nicole Shanahan, the wife of Google's founder, Sergey Brin. Over the weekend, the Wall Street Journal reported that Musk had a brief relationship with Shanahan in December of 2001, 6 months ago, while she and Brin were separated, but still living together. Elon. The publication cited unnamed people close to the matter, and that's when I backed off the story right there. Elon tweeted today, I've only seen Nicole twice in 3 years. Nothing romantic, end quote. For decades, the standard way to search for asteroids in our solar system has been to scan the night sky for fast-moving specks of light. But a new method of hunting for these space rocks at twilight is also proving fruitful. It's much harder to pull off, but scanning parts of the sky at dusk, astronomers have been able to find key asteroids they wouldn't have seen otherwise. The two largest asteroid finders at the moment are the Pan-STARRS Observatory out of Hawaii and the Catalina Sky Survey, which operates multiple telescopes out of Arizona. For the last decade, these two programs have been the premier hunters of near-Earth asteroids, but they primarily search the sky at night, looking away from the sun. That limits the parts of the sky that they can observe to the area right around the Earth and the outer solar system. So, recently, asteroid hunters have been turning their telescopes towards the sun just after it sets or just before it rises. The sky is hazy at that time, but still bright enough to add difficulty to the search. But by braving twilight, asteroid hunters have been able to find plenty of asteroids that cross Earth's orbit and some circulating in the solar system's interior. By observing at twilight, scientists working with the Blanco 4-meter telescope in Chile have found the first known asteroid that orbits closer to the sun than Venus and the largest potentially hazardous asteroid to Earth that's been found in the last several years. All they had to do was ask me. I could have told him that. Oh, man. If you're going to go out, you want to go sky watching, best time to sky watch between sunset and like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. That's the best time because the sun is still reflecting off of the objects in the sky. All they had to do was come and ask me. Now, you're still going to see stuff at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, of course. But the best time to just catch the crazy stuff all over the place, between dusk and like 9 o'clock. All they had to do was just 1-800-FADE-TO-BLACK. That's all they had to do. My email is on the website, people. All right. Let's get this show cracking. Can you tell I'm in a great mood? Got a haircut. It's an AMA tonight. Yeah, man. It's bad. What's that? Hey, Ken Priest, are you in town? Ken Priest? Ken Priest? I think Ken Priest is in Southern California. Got a Ken Priest spotting. Yeah. We'll post the pictures on Twitter. Don't you worry. On this day in history, 1956, at 11:10 p.m., 45 miles south of Nantucket Island, the Italian ocean liner Andrea Doria and the Swedish ocean liner Stockholm collide in heavy Atlantic fog. 51 passengers and crew were killed in the collision on this day in 1956. Fate or fact? Some things I just can't make up. This is vetted. This is real. You can go and read all the news stories about this. It's crazy because in 1997, 3 men from Yemen, Adam Ismail, Mustafa Khalil, and Abdullah Al-Umari, sued NASA for landing on Mars. They claim that they inherited the planet from their ancestors 3,000 years ago. In their case, it stated, Sojourner and Pathfinder, which are owned by the United States government, landed on Mars and began exploring it without informing us or seeking our approval, end quote. Nobody except the prosecutor saw their documents. And after throwing out the case, he said, those 3 are abnormal, end quote. It's the craziest case. Go read it. Go read it. All the major news outlets covered it. I don't know where my head was in 1997 when I missed all of this, but it's hilarious. All right. Tonight, my very special guest is me because it's our AMA. No surprises here. I had the schedule for a while. And I was debating, do I do a Jimmy night instead? And I was like, no. Let's do an AMA. Let's stay on the schedule. So I followed the whiteboard. That's what I did. I didn't break my own rules. I followed the whiteboard. Tomorrow night, Nick Redford joins us for a conversation about our strange world. Wednesday night, Nick Pope is here. I guess this is the week of Nicks. Nick Pope will be here to talk about government UFO programs. And then Thursday night is another Fader night with open lines all night long. All right. So, River Moon Coffee, rivermoonwellness.com, Fade to Black blend, best coffee in the world. Don't you want to experience what I'm experiencing every night before I do my rant? Don't you want to experience this? You know you do. It's rivermoonwellness.com. Fade to Black blend. Go to the Amazon store. Get free shipping. Go to the website, F2B Blend. Promo code. It's going to get you 50% off of your order. Make sure you have a coffee grinder. Don't order it ground. Don't do that to yourself. Get a coffee grinder. Order whole bean. Get it going. And then you're going to go, yeah, Church is right. Best coffee in the world. It is. It's truly the best. River Moon Coffee, Juanita and Jeff. All right. So last night, my neighbors had a pool party. Yep, they did. Well, actually, they had 3. They had one Friday night. They had one on Saturday night. So I guess they have family visiting. And they were having a great time all day, all night. Awesome. Totally cool. Loved it. And last night about 9 p.m., I went out on my second floor balcony with my night vision. And I just wanted to kick back up there and check out the stars and see what's happening. It's been jumping off all week long. I've been up there every night. So much fun. It's just crazy what's going on in the skies. And below me, right, I'm up on the second floor. So you go through my backyard, then there's a fence, and then there's their pool, right? And below me, their pool party was in full effect. Now they have trees and stuff, and you know, and the pool's like in the corner, you know. So anyway, I can't see the pool party. I can hear it though, right? And it just made me smile. Marco Polo, just getting down, having a good time, right? I'm listening to the laughter, you know, as I'm scanning the night sky, and I'm kicked back in the chair. I'm like this, right, doing this, and I have a railing here, and you can't really see. So, you know, okay. So when this big craft was traveling from south to north. Now, in back of me, south, it's coming this way, right? I'm doing this. And directly over my head. And I was sitting in the chair with my head, you know, leaning on the back, you know, with the night vision pointing straight up at 12 o'clock. And the object was moving along in a pretty good clip. Suddenly it lit up and then went dim. And I was like, oh, that was cool, right? And suddenly, as I followed it, it flashed. I mean, it went brightly. And for some reason, and I guess I just couldn't help myself, I said, wow, kind of loud. Wow, right? And at that moment, the pool party went dead silent. No, I'm sure that everybody down there was looking around for some creepy dude in the bushes, right? I'm up on the second floor deck in the dark. They can't see me, but the whole thing was pretty awkward. So I stayed silent. I'm just like, right? And but I kept scanning the skies. But that's not what's important. What is important was how I had to sneak back into the house without being seen. And I pulled it off, I think. Oh, man. And I kept the door open so I could make sure that the party got back to normal, and it seemed like it did. But now it's safe to say that I didn't go back outside for the rest of the night. I did not. There you go. That's my weekend. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, it's our AMA. Ask Me Anything. Simple to do. Post your questions in the chat, all caps. That would be great. If you could do me that favor, you can post over on Twitter, hashtag F2B or hashtag F2BQ, right? And also over on Facebook. Tomorrow night, Nick Redfern is here, Our Strange World. Wednesday night, Nick Pope is going to be here. We're going to be talking about government UFO programs. Thursday's another Fader night with open lines all night long. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back with your questions for tonight's AMA right after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. Hello, Fadernauts. Jimmy Church here. You've seen me with my thunderstorm. Now you can purify the air in your home and get healthy, clean, fresh-smelling air and eliminate odors just like I do right here in the bunker. The Eden Pure Thunderstorm uses oxy technology that naturally sends out O3 molecules into the air, which seek out odors and air pollutants in your home and destroys them. It's called a thunderstorm because it purifies the air just like after a thunderstorm. And right now, you can save $200 on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. With this special offer, you're getting 3 units for under $200. Seriously. Go to EdenPureDeals.com and use Fader3. Shipping is free and it's easy. Just scroll down. You'll see my name right there, Jimmy Church. Click on it and get your deal today. That's EdenPureDeals.com.
Do you have an interest in the paranormal? Then you'll love the UNXNetwork.com. The X is your streaming audio and video for everything supernatural, strange, and mysterious, like UFOs, Bigfoot, ghosts, and so much more. From hosts like Jimmy Church, Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, and Christina Gomez. Visit the UNXNetwork.com show page for a complete list of all the paranormal programs you'll find on the X. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for updates at KUNXDB. Follow our Facebook group, UNX Network. Find the podcast on Spotify, iHeart, Audible, and Apple Podcast. It's time.
It's new.
It's the X.
Right now, the world couldn't be more chaotic. History shows us what gold does when the world goes crazy. It goes up in value. Right now, we're in unprecedented times. The pandemic, the war in Ukraine, the devaluation of the U.S. dollar. Gold and other precious metals are a defense measure against the hyperinflation that's happening right now. So, what can you do to protect yourself? Call my friend Alan Johnson at United Gold Group. He's dedicated to helping people secure their retirement income. He'll help you with gold, with silver, and other precious metals, and show you how to set up your own self-directed IRA. Safe and secure, United Gold Group makes gold ownership easy and affordable. There couldn't be a better time, so call now and get a silver American Eagle proof set with a qualified IRA. Call 800-753-8534. That's 800-753-8534 or visit UnitedGoldGroup.com. Reach out to my friend, Alan Johnson.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Manson. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our AMA. Post your questions up in the chat, all caps, please, so I can catch them. And you can post also hashtag F2B over on Twitter or hashtag F2BQ over on Twitter. And the questions are lining up, and thank you, everybody, for that. And I will get to those. And then also over on Facebook in the radio page where the show is broadcasting live right now. Let's see here. And while I am just mentioning that, let me jump over to Facebook and just make sure I've got this queued up. I have to have it all queued up. I have to have it queued up. Yeah, okay. Questions are everywhere. Okay. All right. That's good. This is good. Okay. So we are good to go. And this is going to be great. I really enjoy doing this. AMAs are the absolute very best. And I am going to start off tonight via email. And because Renee, our intrepid producer at large, Renee is the absolute very best, by the way. She popped off a question via email because apparently she doesn't know what Twitter is, but that's okay. That's okay, Renee. And so I'm going to start off with Renee. And Renee asks this. She says, here's my AMA question for you tonight. In addition to losing a few pounds and working out in preparation for your swimsuit scene, her words, not mine, will you be using a self-tanning lotion? Tanning beds are unhealthy and you won't have time to just lie in the sun. Renee. That is a great question. And I'll tell you why. I've never thought about that. You know what's tanned? My face, because I live in the desert, and my feet, because I'm wearing sandals all the time. And so my feet are tanned. Everything else, no. Right. That's kind of funny. So what would I've never done a self-tanning lotion. And so, and I've never, you know what? I did a tanning bed in the 80s when they were the thing. And some friend of mine had, and I did it once, maybe twice. But I don't even, are those still around? That being said, I've never done a tanning lotion. Should I check that out? And so the answer is I haven't considered it. But, with all of this filming and stuff, my arms are tanned. My arms are nice and tanned. But everything else, no. I should get a chaise lounge for the back. My neighbor's looking out the window. Oh, my God, Frank, come and look at our neighbor laying out there. Oh, my God, call the police. He used to be such a nice boy. I'm just saying. And that's an AMA. Ask me anything. I am going to, because of Renee, I am going to do a Google search on the best self-tanning lotion. I didn't even know that's what it's called. Do you put it on your face too? Right? I'm gonna come on Fade to Black. Does it? Yeah, no wrinkles. I think that's one of the reasons why I don't have wrinkles on my face. I don't have any wrinkles yet, and I don't know. And I think part of that reason is I don't tan. I don't lay out in the sun. So there you go. All right. Question number 1 is down. Now, let's see. Let me back up here And let me go to this. Oh, Jonocide wanted to kick things off. So, Jimmy, who are your favorite mods, like the top two? Great question, Jonocide, and I'm glad that you asked. I would have to go with Brian and Jeff. They're my two favorites. Yeah, Brian and Jeff. Tim is pretty amazing too as well. And so thank you, Jonocide. And I think that we should give recognition to those three and thank them. I don't thank them enough. Jonocide. The best. Next question from Poll. Is it Poll? From Poll? Is that what that says? Poll? Poll? Is it getting harder to find good guests? No. Oh, man. The best part of this show, when you knock out, what are we up to? Show numbers, I guess we're somewhere in the 1600s, 1700s plus coast to coast and everything else. I've literally done thousands of interviews, and I've been at this for almost a decade now. And the one thing that comes along with that, everybody wants to be on this show. And I get emails all day long from representatives, from publishers, from researchers and individuals. Jimmy. And it's crazy. And there is just not enough time to get everybody in a month. And the other part that comes along with that is I get to pick and choose. I just go with what I feel like doing and what am I researching this week? What am I talking about? And and I go into that zone and I just pick up the phone and go, hey, let's have a conversation. And I did that today. I called up somebody, somebody that I just don't want to give away too much. I said, hey, I'm talking. I just did, in this thing, and I want to do a show on the absolutely. I said, cool. So now I've got to squeeze that in and try to figure out how I'm going to pull that off. But that's what I do. I just go with where my mind is, that week, that day, that month. And you pretty much know if you follow this show, from week to week and month to month, you know where my head is at that month. If I start talking about Bigfoot, you're going to get a couple of weeks of Bigfoot shows. If I'm talking about NDEs or life after death or whatever, you know what's going to happen. You can predict what the next month of shows is going to be like if you follow Fade to Black enough. That's and there's no real secret to it. It's just what am I researching that month? You can tell when I do a month of Egypt, when I do a month of megalithic structures. You know what I've been researching, and what books I'm reading at that moment in time. You can figure it out. So yeah, that's the best part of Fade to Black is I can have anybody on this show at the drop of a hat. Anybody. Anybody. And when I say, I mean anybody. They all want to be on Fade to Black. All right. So there you go. That's from Poll. I don't think that's a real name. Poll Martin. Shady comes in with, okay, now I've done all of these questions off of the chat room. I'm going to swing over to Twitter and Facebook next. I'm not going to cheat anybody tonight. I'm just not going to do it. Not going to do it. Okay. Did you ever meet Ronnie James Dio? That's from Shady. And Shady, listen, yes, of course. Have you seen my Facebook page? Go to my Facebook page. There's a picture of Ronnie and I there. Met Ronnie many times. We were friends. And totally cool dude. I've told a few Ronnie stories on the air over the years. I'll say that him getting sick came on, pretty quickly, and I think it took us all by surprise. And he was such a strong personality and such a cool person that you just thought that he was going to, get through that. And he didn't, and he left way too early. There's no question about that. And I'm still sad about that. And when he died, I had my original that Facebook picture was the picture that I used when I started my Facebook account back in 2000, whenever that was. When did Facebook start? 2008. And then after Ronnie's passing, I had said then I'm never going to change it. I'm just not. That's it. So I've had it up there for 14, almost 15 years, and it's just going to stay there. But Ronnie James Dio was absolutely amazing. I went through a phase, and it was probably 90. 96, 97, 98, right in there. And I learned a bunch of Carpenter's songs, and like Carpenter's greatest hits. I learned that whole album, and got the sheet music, and I learned all the stuff on guitar, but I was, and I kind of learned it in a rock guitar fashion, and it was great. But I had this thing in my head. That I heard Ronnie James Dio singing the Carpenters. Now, put that in your mind for a second. I know it may, but it's not strange. Just go with me on this. And I had this, I was like, man, I need to put a rock band together doing Carpenters covers with the best musicians and Ronnie James Dio singing. Now, I never talked to Ronnie about it, but it was in my head. It was like this fantasy, but I had it all worked out. It made sense. Just the rock and roll voice and Carpenter's tunes. Yeah. Mad respect for Ronnie James Dio. All right, let's see. Let's go let's see. Okay, hey Jimmy. What bands were you in? I'd like to find your music. I don't think and all the early bands that I was in the 80s, that stuff isn't online, so you can forget about that. Oh, this is HH. How was the Randy Rhoads documentary? It was pretty good, by the way. And I can't remember what it was called. What was it called? Randy Rhoads came out a few months ago. What I enjoyed about the Randy Rhoads documentary, and thank you for bringing that up. Man, he's got like 5 questions here. Okay. Was the footage of the original Quiet Riot, playing the Valley, playing around LA, playing the colleges, playing outside, putting the band together, the original members and everybody talking about that stuff that I had never seen before. There wasn't a whole lot of the Ozzy stuff, and I don't know, licensing or whatever came into play there. But the first half of that documentary, which covered the Quiet Riot stuff, extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. Is George Lynch coming on Fade to Black? He's on tour right now. I'm still trying to get that arranged. Please bring back the hats and shirts. Thanks for answering the questions. Yeah, we had a payment it's called a merchant account issues that we're still trying to iron out, and we'll come back. And once that stuff is all fixed, we had a very smooth operating system the first 5 years of the show, and then it just went sideways. And so there you go. And I still apologize. Anybody that emails me that didn't get their stuff, I send it out as quick as I can. So I'm out of hats, though. I've got to get some more hats made. Okay, that's from HH. That's on Twitter. This is from M. Okay. You had Whitley Strieber on many times and have never asked him about where is the physical proof of his contact with aliens. Where's M? I'm going to say this. Where's anybody's physical proof? Anybody at all. M, get back to me on that. Just get back to me. I would love to have that person on the show, and I would love to break the news that somebody has got physical proof. Let me know. And seriously, I'm being very serious here. The physical proof. Where is it? All right. Thank you for that, Em. That's a great question. Have you seen the new Jordan Peele movie, Nope? And if so, what did you think of it? I haven't seen it yet. Lucinda, I think it premiered Thursday or Friday. Lucinda hits me with a text. I could show it to you right now. You've got to see Nope. I'm not going to say anything till you see it. We've got to talk. I was like, what? Now, I've read some of the reviews and things. I do want to see it. Jordan Peele is a pretty interesting writer and filmmaker. So now I have heard a couple of things. Now, I don't want to spoiler. Some people are saying that it's an alien contact movie. Others are saying it's not. That's not really what the story is about. It's a drama. And so I don't know. Yeah, right. Now, I remember hearing about the production of Nope last year, and I was pretty excited about it. Now the film is out, and everybody's saying it's a great film. I'm getting different. I guess people are getting from the film what they want to get from it. And I can't say anything because I haven't seen it yet. So I don't know what everybody is referring to here. So there you go. And somebody sent me an email today. I should almost read it to you. That it's not a film about contact in the classic sense. And I got the email. I thought, what does that mean? It's not an alien abduction contact film. So I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'm sure that question's going to come at me a few more times tonight. Okay. So let's see. What is your opinion of flavored coffee? Seriously? My opinion is no. Don't do it. Are you talking like hazelnut or something like that? Do they still make stuff like that? I don't see it really. The trend was going around. I remember raspberry flavored coffee, whatever. I don't see it too much anymore, so I didn't know it was still going on. Now, the Italian syrups, I don't dig them. I've tried many times to choke that stuff down. I know. Look, people enjoy it, right? Caramel, vanilla, the different flavor. I get that. It's not for me. As far as I will go with a cup of coffee, if I'm going to pour something into it, is cream, half and half, no soy, oat, dirt, milk, none of that, and sugar, no sweeteners, no, and that's as far as I go, and just cream on my coffee, and I'm happy. Or black, I'm cool with that, but no flavors, it's not my thing. It's not my thing. I remember, oh man, there's a lot of questions here. Okay. I was at like a county fair. Might have been the Los Angeles County Fair in the 90s, but it may have been something out of state. I really don't remember, but I had a caramel flavored coffee. And I did it with a friend, and we were walking around, and my friend orders it, and so it was the Italian syrup, goes in, the caramel syrup, the whipped cream with caramel on the top, and we're walking around and drinking these, and I got sick. And I think that's part of it too as well. I just don't mess with that stuff anymore. Okay, let's go to Facebook. Oh, wait a minute. I got to take a break. Okay, let's see. Coffee and bourbon. And that's what Facebook is doing right now. Let's see here. Jimmy, do you get to jam much on your guitars with some other musicians? I do. I have friends come by the house. Some I don't name drop, so I'm not going to do that, but I do. I have people come by the house and they can bring their guitars. They can play something here. We play all the time. And I've got a few different guitar amps, and I've got the ability for I've got a nice studio, so I can have a backing band or not, or drums or not, and stuff like that. So yeah, I do all the time. And what I like to do with my friends, and especially, I think that we're all getting older, I like to trade licks. Yeah, I've accumulated a library of Flash, right? I can do all that stuff. And so have my friends. So trade a lick. I'll show you something cool. If you show me that thing you were playing earlier, we do that a lot. And that's a lot of fun. And then dinner, and then we come back into the studio. But yes, I do that quite a bit. I try to make sure before I go to break that every guitar in here, I don't want to be embarrassed. So if somebody comes in and says, "Hey, can I play that Explorer?" I go, "Yes." And I want to make sure that they pick it up and it's correct. It's got fresh strings, frets are done, the action's great, and I have no excuses. I don't want to have somebody come in and look around and go, "Man, this is awesome. Can I play that?" No. Because I'm embarrassed. It's not set up. Is something wrong with it? No. So I try to make sure that everything in here is in proper playing condition. And that is the bottom line here. Okay, let's take our break. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our AMA. Ask Me Anything. You can post in all caps over on YouTube so I can see it. Too much action over there on YouTube. Do the same thing over on Facebook. That's cool. Thank you so much. And you can also post up in Twitter, hashtag F2B or hashtag F2BQ. All right. I'll be right back after this short break. More of your questions are next. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX DB, VX.
Hello, Fadernauts. Jimmy Church here. You've seen me with my thunderstorm. Now you can purify the air in your home and get healthy, clean, fresh-smelling air and eliminate odors just like I do right here in the bunker. The Eden Pure Thunderstorm uses oxy technology that naturally sends out O3 molecules into the air, which seek out odors and air pollutants in your home and destroys them. It's called a thunderstorm because it purifies the air just like after a thunderstorm. And right now, you can save $200 on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. With this special offer, you're getting 3 units for under $200. Seriously. Go to EdenPureDeals.com and use Fader3. Shipping is free and it's easy. Just scroll down. You'll see my name right there, Jimmy Church. Click on it and get your deal today. That's EdenPureDeals.com.
This is Billy founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. And I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can right now get your own free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer, Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers.
Yes.
We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. Did you cut your hair? Yes, I did. That's from Carrison. I did. I didn't cut the top. I just cut the sides. And I didn't cut it. But it looks good. 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 It does. This, look. That's some long stuff. It's all still there. I had to get it off my neck and stuff. Next week, I'm on a film shoot, and we are shooting. It's been described as anyway. We are shooting outdoors, and there's going to be a scene. Well, anyway, forget about that. But I was like, man, I can't. No, I got to get it cut. I just have to get it cut. I just have to. So it was fun. At least I know that that I can still grow hair at this old age. I don't dye it. It's gray. I've got lots of gray. I have these two. You can't. I don't think you can see it, but right here. Hold on. Right here and right here, I've got two gray streaks, and they're cool. man, my hands are backwards. I can't do this right in the mirror. But right here, and they just come down. I'm so into it. It's pretty cool. Okay, anyway, where are we at? Tonight's our AMA. I am going to get back to questions here. Let's see. Okay, all right. Oh my goodness. And listen, I sound like I don't know what I'm doing, but there are too many questions here, too many. And I've got a bunch. You guys are out of control. Okay, I should have had this queued up, and I thought that I did. Okay. All right. Here's a bunch right here. Let's just go through these. If I missed your questions because okay, I'm just going to start here. This is from Eileen. Eileen says, has Scott Wolter been asked to be on Skinwalker Ranch? That is the question. You have to ask Scott that. I don't know. He would be an interesting one. But what would he do on Skinwalker? But do they have anything that they would want to show him and get his opinion on? I am only halfway through season 2. I haven't watched any of season 3, so you guys will probably know more than myself. Jimmy, question: most embarrassing moment of your youth? The most embarrassing moment that I haven't told on the air already? The most embarrassing moment of my youth. Oh man, there are just too many, just like off the top of my head. The most embarrassing moment of my youth that I haven't told on the air. Yeah, I have a good one. 6th grade. My teacher was Mr. McWilliams. Dignified black man. Dude was just awesome. Love that guy. And now looking back, I was 10 years old in the 6th grade. I looked at him as being such an adult, but he was probably in his mid to late 20s. But he was awesome. Anyway, so I loved Mr. McWilliams, and we got along great. Get my report card. I opened it up, and it was virtually straight A's, right? Okay, 6th grade. And you got to have your parents sign it, and it comes in an envelope. Remember, it was blue, and ours was. And it unfolded. It came in a little manila envelope. Take it home, parents sign it, you bring it back, right? Okay, so I see my grades, all's good. Go home. And I give it to my dad and whatever. He comes back to me later and he goes, we have to sit down and have a talk. I said, what's going on? I got good grades. You did. Okay. All right. What's up? Your teacher, Mr. McWilliams, wrote a comment on the back of the report card, and I need to sit down and talk to you about it. I said, he did, which I didn't read. And I'm paraphrasing here. It's been many years. But he said, Mr. McWilliams, Jimmy's great, he's smart, but he's got some issues. Right? These were the words. He's overly self-assertive and talks too much and is very, very loud. And my dad goes, he's right about all of these things. I said, okay, all right. Do you know what overly self-assertive means? And I said, I do not. And then my dad took the time to explain to me his version of what he thought that meant, and that I'm too loud and I need to control my voice and that I need to stop talking in class. And I didn't do any of those things. I didn't do one thing. And I remember I was so embarrassed. I liked Mr. McWilliams so much. And then after that, I couldn't even look at him. He like ruined the class for me. I can tell you that. I can tell you that our relationship changed from that moment. He shouldn't have written any of that stuff on the back of the report card because I doubled down. I doubled down on all of it. I talked more, I was louder, and I was more self-assertive. I mean, and that to this day on this program, all of those things that he wrote, but I'm telling you, it crushed me. It was I had so much respect for Mr. McWilliams, and I was so embarrassed that that's the way he looked at me, and I thought it was the opposite of that, and it embarrassed me so much that I don't remember talking to him for the second semester in 6th grade. Yeah, true story. Yep. All right. Let's see here. Please tell us a crazy drunk story. Please tell us your crazy drunk stories. I don't remember any of them. I don't remember any of them. There was, I didn't really, see, this was my problem with drinking, was that I never really drank. I enjoy drinking with friends, but I don't drink all year long. I don't drink all week long. I drink one night every couple of months when I'm out with friends or I have a dinner party. But that's it. So I don't drink in between. So when I do drink, it kind of affects me a little bit. But I was that way even when I was very young, except for right after high school. Then I just drank to drink with my friends all the time, every night. But I never really drank to get drunk. I was never that kind of drinker. I always just held off. I'm the kind of drinker that I will have a drink in my hand all night, but it's the same drink. Right? I can make a beer last for 3 hours, but that's me. Now, of course, people have seen me drink, and I can hold my alcohol. But like anybody else, of course, you're going to get drunk. Well, anyway, one night in Hollywood, a friend of mine, Matt America, and his girlfriend, Kirgy, they lived in the apartment next door to me. And I went over there and we just started drinking. And he took out of the freezer a bottle of Jägermeister. And we drank it. Now this is the deal. This is the crazy part to this story. I don't remember anything after that. And all I know is I woke up, not in my apartment, but their apartment the next day. And Matt goes, "Dude, you were out of control last night." I said, "Really?" "Dude, this." I said, "What?" That didn't happen. It did. Really? I never drank Jägermeister again. Never. Crazy. I mean, I literally listened to the things that he was saying and had no memory of any of it. And apparently it was like from midnight till 6 a.m. Like it was, I don't remember. I don't remember any of it. Absolutely. What Twitter app do I use? I use TweetDeck. Hey Jimmy. Okay, let me pull this up here. Hey Jimmy, you want to get Christina and some other folks in the community together and play some UFO themed D&D on a stream for charity? I don't know much about D&D. I need somebody I can play D&D. I've played D&D like 3 times in my life. I played versions of it too as well. You need a really good leader of the game. What do they call the dungeon master or whatever they're called? The key master. To tell the story and stuff. But if you've got an idea, I don't know if Christina does D&D. I don't either, but I would do it for charity. I would do it for fun. And look, all you're doing is rolling dice and saying yes or no, right? And you can get through it. So yeah, I'd be open to it. And there you go. All right. Next up, Jimmy. Who is on your current favorite playlist? Now, I can answer that because this weekend I set up a playlist because I was working on my guitars here in the bunker. And so I'm pulling up my playlist right now. And this is what I went through as my playlist is loading. Is it going to show up? Come on. So this is what I set up for this weekend. Let's go here. I did Dokken, Back for the Attack. I did Michael Schenker, MSG, the deluxe remastered version. I did Michael Schenker Group, Assault Attack. And I did Rainbow Down to Earth. And that was the playlist I could show to you right here. This was the playlist that I set up for this weekend here in the bunker. So there you go there. Okay, let me pull back here. Let's see. This is from Paul Zinder. I always wanted to ask you, did you meet Art Bell? No, I did not. Spoke to him on the phone many times. And if so, what is a favorite story he told you that you heard on his show? For me, his stuff after 9/11. All right, my favorite stuff on Art Bell's show, we never talked about any of this in any phone calls or emails or anything. But my favorite Art Bell shows were Mel's Hole, David Adair, and the first show that he did with David Adair was absolutely incredible. And then the one with the doctor in Washington where his dog got eaten in the woods with the black craft with the pictures. What was that guy's name? Dr. I can't remember his name. But those were great shows. All the first versions of each one of those. The first night of Mel's Hole, a little bit of the second night. The first David Adair show, incredible. And then the other one, Dr. I can't remember his name, from Washington, when he was walking through the woods and encountered the craft and his dog ran ahead of him and then got killed. I can't remember his name. That was a great show. Okay, let's see. Before I swing out of here, Jimmy, thoughts on Pantera reunion with Zakk Wylde on guitar? Yeah, Rex. Yeah, it's going to be Slayer's drummer. That's I think it's perfect. I think Zakk. Him and Dimebag are really good friends. And I think that Zakk would treat the material with respect. Plus, you have to be a guitar player that can play Dimebag's licks. Not easy. Zakk can do that, and he can pull all of that off. I think that it's going to be a great tour. I think it's a great idea. I also think that none of this surprises anybody. if there was going to be a Pantera reunion, I think that we all felt that Zach would be the right guitar player for that. So I'm excited about it. It's big news in the metal community, but I don't think it surprises anybody. I think it just makes everybody happy, and I am right there. Let's see, Jimmy, what are your thoughts on Richie Blackmore? Well, if you go back to Machine Head, Burn, and really listen to those records. Now, of course, later with Rainbow, with Ronnie James Dio and Graham Bonnet, I thought were excellent bands. Even Joe Lynn Turner had its moments of greatness. But when I was a kid, this would have been around 1977. I went to the teen club at Fort Clayton in Panama, and there was a band playing. It was like Friday night, and teen clubs were a thing back then. I don't think anybody's doing that now, but back then. So I walk into the teen club, and there's a band playing, and the next song after I got there, I forget what they were playing first, but the second song that they played was Burn by Deep Purple. And I walk right up, man, and I'm listening to this, and I thought to myself at that moment, this is the greatest song I've ever heard in my life. And from that point on, 1977, 78, all the way through to today, I was a Richie Blackmore fan. And I can't express it enough. I think that Richie Blackmore, there's maybe 5 or 10 guitarists that I hold at equal footing of greatness and ability, and Richie Blackmore is right there. No question about it. So thank you for that, and giving Richie the respect that, man. Lots of band questions tonight. Okay, this is from Carrie Jacobson. If you could put together the ultimate band, who would you choose? The ultimate band, dead or alive, or just anybody? If I was going to put together a band that would be the killer band, I would, I would have Scotty Slam, friend of mine, Scotty Slam on drums. And if it wasn't Scotty, if I went with a rock star drummer, Taylor Hawkins is dead. Oh man, I don't know. Man, Chad from Red Hot Chili Peppers, maybe. Great drummer. So bass. Love Michael Anthony on bass guitar. James Lomenzo on bass guitar would be great. I wouldn't have a rhythm guitarist. Nah. Wouldn't have a keyboard player. Nah. So who would be my singer? Who would be my singer? Man, that's a tough one too. Man, I don't know. Keith St. John is a great singer. I like Keith. He'd be a good singer. Yeah. Or maybe Glenn Hughes, and then he could play bass. But that'd be a good band. Okay, let's see here. Jimmy, what is the best spaghetti you ever had? I can actually answer this. It was in Toronto, Canada. And I was up there with a friend of mine, Andy Cherna. And so I spoke somewhere in Toronto. And after I was done, Andy goes, okay, man, what do you want for dinner? I said, I want Italian. He goes, I got the best Italian restaurant in North America right here in Toronto. I said, cool. So he picks me up And we take off, we drive across Toronto, and we pull up, I'm not making this up, to a house. It's a house. It's a white house with every house in Toronto's got the iron stairs. Everybody lives on the second floor because there's 15 feet of snow all winter long. It never melts. August in Toronto is sub-zero. And so we pull up to this house, and there was a sign out front, and it said, the Tre Marie family restaurant, Italian restaurant. It's like, what? We're in a neighborhood. He goes, dude, slow down. I said, okay, all right, man, take your word for it. We go in, and it's a house, and there was like 5 or 6, maybe 8 tables. That's it in the living room. It was a house. And the Tre Maries, the 3 Maries. I got the whole story. And I don't know if they were all sisters named Marie. She comes to my table. She goes, so, what would you like for dinner? I was like, really? It's like that? I said, I want pasta, meat sauce with 2 meatballs on the top. She goes, coming up. I swear to God, man. And that meal, I swear on everything that I love, and I've had Italian food all over this planet, that was the best spaghetti sauce I have ever had in my life. And I remember when we were done, I was like, Andy, this is the best Italian restaurant in North America. You took me here. I will never forget this place. The Tre Marie in Toronto, Canada. I don't know if it's still there. I have no idea. That was probably 1995, 96, and I'm still talking about it to this day. It was absolutely incredible. Tre Marie in Toronto, Canada. Somebody post it. Somebody find it. Somebody post it. The Tre Marie. I would love to know if they're still there. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Got to take a quick break. Tonight's our AMA. Ask me anything. Post your questions in all caps over in the chat room. Of course, I'm monitoring Twitter, and I'm also monitoring Facebook. I'll be right back. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
The Believer is the chilling true story of Dr. John Mack, a renowned Harvard psychiatrist and Pulitzer Prize winner.
This is an outreach program from the cosmos to the consciously impaired.
He risked it all to investigate human encounters with aliens. The Believer, Alien Encounters, Hard Science, and the Passion of John Mack. Written by award-winning former New York Times journalist and author Ralph Blumenthal. Now available in paperback from High Road Books.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch, roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fadernauts, when you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA.
Hi, I'm Ray Sobbs, and I'm here to tell you about something I really think you're going to like. The UNX Network is a part of a larger group called UNX Media, and one of the things we offer is the quarterly UNX magazine, which is available both in print and digital formats. This amazing magazine covers all aspects of the unexplained and makes for a great coffee table periodical that is certain to spark enlightening conversations in your living rooms. We invite you to check out the latest digital issue for free. Just go to unxnetwork.com/membership and fill out your free membership with your name and email and become a new free member. The new summer issue is now available, and the theme is Time Anomalies, which includes a feature article written by our managing editor, Lee Spiegel. Just go to unxnetwork.com/memberships. That's unxnetwork.com/memberships and get your free e-copy of the UNX magazine today.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, our AMA. Ask me anything. You can post all caps in the chat. You can post over hashtag F2BQ over on Twitter and also over on our Facebook radio page. All right, whatever you want to do. I'm checking everything out. Jimmy, did you see the John Greenwald news today? I follow John and I try to stay on top of it. I didn't see anything too breaking. I saw his post about MK Ultra releasing documents, and then a couple of days ago he did release, I think it was on the 22nd or 23rd. Today's the 25th. The FAA near misses with UFOs and UAPs. So if there's something else out there that I'm not aware of, let me know. And just hit me up on Twitter or send me some links, and I will check it out. But yeah, I try to I try to swing over to the Black Vault like nearly every single day. So thank you for that. Let's go over to Twitter. Triscale says, Jimmy, do you still write and record original music or compositions? I do. I'm in the middle of a project right now doing that. How many instruments do you play? I play a mean drum machine. I can fake my way through bass and keyboards. And so there you go. I am in the middle of, I've got 10 song ideas started that I'm going to ride through to completion. I've also got a couple of covers that I'm thinking about doing, and I know which covers I'm going to do if I squeeze those in. But I'm in the middle of that, and I'm hoping that I can finish this stuff in maybe the next 6 months or so, the original stuff. And I've just got stuff written in my head that I need to get out. So I've started the drums and things. So I've got a project. Pretty excited about it. I don't think there's going to be any vocals. There may be some vocals on it. I won't be singing, of course, but maybe I'll do one track. No, that was a bad joke. But yeah, so I'm working on stuff right now. And I think that, Jordan Ziff was over and he goes, man, play me some of your stuff. So I played him a track, and this was his comment. He goes, it's chaotic. I said, yeah, exactly. That's his way of going, that's not that good. It was pretty funny. So, but anyway, I'm working on stuff right now. Okay. Lord Nelson says, what cereal are you eating if there's no Lucky Charms? Right now, I have always got Cinnamon Toast Crunch ready to go. I've also got Maple Pecan Crunch from Trader Joe's always on tap. That's always in there. But for some reason, I've been doing Captain Crunch Peanut Butter Crunch the last couple of dives into it. And Captain Crunch Peanut Butter Crunch. That's what's happening right now. After listening to Linda on Thursday, you guys starting to think that the Greys are AI, controlled by the tall whites. Right now, nobody knows for sure. These are just comments that have come in, and there's different theories there and witnesses and stuff. I don't have any experience firsthand. And until something happens with me personally, I really don't have a comment. Is that possible? When it comes to the question of what is visiting us, and could it be AI, right? Could it be AI bots and androids? I just flip it over. How would we, if we haven't quite figured out faster than light space travel, whatever that may be, wormholes, whatever, folding space, whatever that may be. But on a ship traveling just in a direction with some kind of conventional motor on the back that moves stuff really fast, EM drive or whatever, nuclear engines, whatever, and you're not tackling the speed of light, you are going to be traveling in one direction for thousands of years. Thousands. So how would we overcome that? The only way to overcome it is to have generational ships where you, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren are going to be living on these ships. By the time they arrive at that new star system, you Me, that started off on the ship, you're a 10,000-year-old distant memory. They don't even remember who you were. Yeah, that's it. So how do we overcome that? If I wanted to experience that 10,000 years later, the only way to overcome that is to upload me into an AI robot. It's the only way to do it. That's it. So why wouldn't ET be doing the same thing? I'm just saying. Why? That's how you would overcome, right? And if I'm in a bot, if I'm in an android robot body, no food, no oxygen, right? No sleep, no sickness, no disease, virtually immortality is achieved. But that's a way that we could overcome all of the obstacles of traveling to the stars. And why wouldn't ET do the exact same thing if that's the way that they are traveling here? I'm just saying. Makes sense to me. All right. Do you have a story about my SRV guitar, the Stevie Ray Vaughan guitar that is hanging right there? I do. Not going to tell it on the air. All right. Let's see. Black Cat Report. What deodorant do you use? I use Gillette Clear Gel. That's what I use. Costco 5-pack. That's what I use. I buy it once every 2 years because it's a 5-pack. All right. Also, would you be willing to come on our small but growing podcast? Email me, Jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. Send me some links to your podcast, and I will check it out. Let's see here. Black Cat Report. Is that what it is? Black Cat Report. I'm going to your page right now. A podcast covering the increasingly blurred line between disclosure and discourse. Oh, tasty. Join us as we approach the boundary between the fringe and reality. Wow. Well done, Black Cat Report. Yeah, shoot me an email. We'll see if we can make that happen for you guys. And let's see. Next up. Orange. I can't read. Orange Freak. Backwards 3. Creative. Is the UAP phenomena a popular topic in East and Southeast Asia? And what can be done to get things going if it isn't? I don't know. It's a great question. Chuck, we have a friend. I don't talk to him as much anymore because of some of the things that have been going on between China and the United States. But I've got a friend that does a UAP radio show over there. He's amazing. And but I haven't. He would be the one to ask on that. And I don't know. Okay, let's see. This is from Michael Townsend. 2 questions. Who was your favorite all-time interview? Before I say all of them, which is a very honest answer because I enjoy every interview, even the bad ones for their own reasons. But I enjoy them all. But my favorite all-time interview, man, the Thanksgiving show that I did with Linda Moulton Howe like 8 years ago was pretty cool. I love all of the Linda shows, all of Richard Dolan shows, all of Whitley Strieber shows, all of Jim Marrs shows. They were just incredible. John Anthony West. Those were just absolutely incredible shows. Robert Schock, incredible. Now, Scott Wolter, every show with Scott is an adventure. Isaac Arthur, always amazing. And I could go on and on and on and on and on. The last show I did about dreams with Kelly Sullivan Walden, that was an incredible show. But like all time, like the show, man, I'm not so sure if I have one. I'm not so sure. Too many great ones in there. Too many. All right, let's see. And second, did you see my sighting? I'll go back to this. I think I did. Let's see. Carrison, did you cut your hair? Yes, I did. Oregon Viking. Hey, Jimmy, how is the ghost doing? Still throwing your shoes off the rack? No. I don't know what's up with that. I walk in my closet a couple times a day, hoping the shoes are going to be down, but they are not. Crazy that went on for a few months. And I mean, the video that I was shooting and the photographs and you know, I had friends come over to the house. I was like, man, you got to see it. It's going on. And then just stopped for no reason. None. I was doing everything I could to keep the shoes. I've smashed together and touching, you know, so you couldn't pull them and they would still come off the racks. I don't know. So that part has ended. Other strange stuff are always going on here. What orange drink do you use for your kebabs? I use, oh man, why am my brain freezing on that? It's an orange drink. I don't even know if you can get it outside of California. I can't think of the name of it. It's an orange drink. It's not orange juice. Now, the kebabs that I made a few weeks ago here at the house, that was with orange juice because I couldn't get my orange drink. I couldn't get it. Let's see. What's the best music doc I have ever seen? What's the best music doc? There's a series of Stevie Ray Vaughan docs, and one of them is with his brother. I can't think of the name of it. It's amazing. The documentary that Pink Floyd did on Dark Side of the Moon, it's amazing. I just watched a David Bowie documentary last week. I can't think of the name of it, but it's really, really good. Now the best music you know, can I say this? I still go back. It's not a documentary, but Led Zeppelin, The Song Remains the Same, is a perfect film. That film, I still find myself going back, and I just watched, I told everybody, Elvis Aloha from Hawaii. I watched it twice last week. It was incredible. Let's see. This is from Carrison again. Would you ever do Coast to Coast again? We miss you on that. I never say never. You can never say never, but I don't have any plans. It's not on my mind to do Coast to Coast again. And there are many reasons for that. So I'll take a minute to explain where my mind is. Coast to Coast, I did it for almost 7 years, 6 years, 7 years, something like that. And Coast to Coast, because Fade to Black was Monday through Thursday, and then Coast to Coast, I was either doing Friday, Saturday, and sometimes I did Sunday. And then on the weekends that I wasn't doing Coast was because I was doing a conference somewhere or I was shooting for something. And for 6 straight years, I had no days off. None. And Coast to Coast started to get in the way. Not only with days off, but when you do 6 years with no days off, none. I mean, no days off. Imagine you living your life where you work 7 days a week for 6 or 7 years, right? And it wore me out. And Coast on the weekends, Coast was from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. And I wouldn't get home till 3 a.m. I wouldn't get to sleep till 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I had to turn around and do Fade to Black that week. And I was just like, ugh, it's like jet lag, out of my mind. And that accumulated. And it just got to the point where, and then COVID comes along and everything else. And we had lockdowns going on in LA. We had riots going on in LA. And I didn't like leaving the house and leaving my family alone. And there was that part. And it was just like, something's got to give here in my personal life. I need to find myself again. I need to get back and Coast was just in the way. And that's why I left. Now, it's been almost 2 years since I left Coast. And I got to tell you that shifting back into a Coast schedule, interrupting the way that I've got things structured now, Fade to Black Monday through Thursday. And then on the weekends, I'm on my own, but I'm also traveling and I'm doing other projects. So I get maybe one weekend off a month. And to turn around and throw Coast back into this mix, it's just something that doesn't appeal to me. I know it sounds crazy to some. I think most of you may understand that and appreciate it, but it doesn't appeal to me. And if it appealed to me, then you just go and you make the adjustments in your lifestyle and you make things happen if you want to do it. But if you don't want to do it, you just don't want to do it. And that's where I'm at. I'm just enjoying my bliss. So yeah, I know that there's a lot of people out there that would like me to come back to Coast and miss me on there. And that's great. And I appreciate that. And thank you for thinking that. But nah. All right. So there you go. Okay, let's see. Oh, look at that. There's the new rise. Okay. Last night, I dreamt I was working with you. JJ, that was there helping. I was grateful, happy to be working with you guys. Do you ever dream of faders? I do, man. Are you kidding me? After how could I not? Every single night after Fade to Black, and I'm settling into bed, and I'm reading some crazy book, and I'm coming off of a great show. Of course, I dream about the Fadernauts every night, and it's awesome. Now, which Fadernauts? That part is private. Yeah. Can you tell us more about the cruise to Mexico? I can. I actually signed the contracts for that today. That's kind of weird. Ken, are you in my head? Yes. Ken, I could see Ken on this cruise. I just signed the contracts. I don't have the dates like right in front of me. But I believe it's March 2023. Okay. I promise I will get stuff posted this week. All right. I promise. But yes, the cruise is happening. I signed the contracts. Jimmy, this is from Triscale. Jimmy, what are your thoughts on time traveling in the dream state? Have you? We all have. I think we all have. Let's see. All right. So, yeah, I made these comments about dreaming. I feel that once you go into dream state, when you are sleeping, I I feel that we are in another world. That's what I think. I think we are in another dimension. Not this reality. We enter another one. And of which I don't think that there's any time that applies there. And I've told the story many times on the air, so I'm not going to waste your time now. But I dreamt, and I remember all of it. I typed at a computer my autobiography from when I was born to today. And I typed out the whole thing. Every chapter, every word, every phase, everything. And how is that possible to do overnight when you're dreaming? How is that possible? It doesn't make any sense. And I woke up in the morning remembering, like, how can I relive my entire life? Type it, right? I mean, do it in 8 hours or 6 hours of sleep. How is that possible? Unless you are in another dimension where time doesn't apply. It just simply doesn't. And that I'm able to, what is that, a month or two of writing a book? Right? And all of that can happen in 6 or 8 hours of sleep. I don't want to hear an explanation. You were dreaming parts of it. You think that you were. No, that's not. No, you didn't have the dream. I did. And so is that a version of time traveling? I think that it is. And I think that in when you are dreaming, you are in another dimension where time doesn't apply. I absolutely believe that is time travel, and I don't have a way to explain it any clearer. I don't have the words to express it. I can't get it out. I don't think the words are there that can describe it. The words that we have access to in the English language, the correct words, the words that we need haven't been invented yet. So I can't explain it properly, but that's what I feel. And I just don't think I'm wrong here. And it's just based on my own experience. Now, that's the other thing before I go to the break. Whenever I talk about UFOs or ghosts or whatever, I go to the science based on my own experience. I don't like going into pure hypotheticals. I love the woo, but unless I've experienced the woo, then I don't have a point of reference to it. I've experienced a lot of woo, and if whatever's there, and then I can go to the science and take a look at it. That's what I do. And so when it comes to dreams and how this stuff happens, like, writing a book that should take 2 months and you write it overnight in your dream, how is that possible? You've got to go to science. You've got to go to science and try to answer those questions. I think it's another dimension, and one where time, simply the way that we work with time here, with a watch, with a clock, linear, moving forward, that time doesn't operate that way in our dreams. It simply doesn't. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Let's take a quick break. I think I did this in order. I did, right? I did? I'm in order? I'll be right back. Tonight's our AMA. Stay with us.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX DB, VX.
Right now, the world couldn't be more chaotic. History shows us what gold does when the world goes crazy. It goes up in value. Right now, we're in unprecedented times. The pandemic, the war in Ukraine, the devaluation of the U.S. dollar. Gold and other precious metals are a defense measure against the hyperinflation that's happening right now. So, what can you do to protect yourself? Call my friend Alan Johnson at United Gold Group.
He's dedicated to helping people secure their retirement income. He'll help you with gold, with silver, and other precious metals, and show you how to set up your own self-directed IRA. Safe and secure, United Gold Group makes gold ownership easy and affordable. There couldn't be a better time, so call now and get a silver American Eagle proof set with a qualified IRA. Call 800-753-8534. That's 800-753-8534 or visit UnitedGoldGroup.com. Reach out to my friend, Alan Johnson.
The Believer is the chilling true story of Dr. John Mack, a renowned Harvard psychiatrist and Pulitzer Prize winner.
This is an outreach program from the cosmos to the consciously impaired.
He risked it all to investigate human encounters with aliens. The Believer, Alien Encounters, Hard Science, and the Passion of John Mack. Written by award-winning former New York Times journalist and author Ralph Blumenthal. Now available in paperback from High Road Books.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UNX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
Join us August 5th through the 7th, 2022 at the Drury Conference Center in Cape Girardeau, Missouri for the launch of the Midwest Conference on the Unknown. There are 3 interactive days packed with vendors, exhibitors, and nationally recognized researchers presenting on unknown topics like UFO UAP phenomenon, ghosts and Bigfoot, and Missouri's own Momo, the Missouri Monster. Cape Girardeau has long been one of the most sought-out areas for UFO enthusiasts since the 1941 UFO crash, and now is your chance to be a part of the inaugural conference. Visit cape-events.com or follow us on Facebook at Midwest Conference on the Unknown for more information. Ex-listeners get 30% off by using the promo code XVIP. That's cape-events.com, promo code XVIP.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B Blend for 15% off of your order today.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony. Damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, our AMA. Ask me anything. I love this. I absolutely love this. Okay, let's see here. Jimmy, when are you going to Peru? I would love to go to Peru. I don't have it scheduled right now, but I would love to go to Peru. I mean, Peru and Bolivia, 100%. Brazil too, but if I was going to, put it in order, Peru first, Peru and Bolivia, but Peru, and then Guatemala, Honduras, Belize, and all of the Mayan stuff that is there, and then Mexico City. That's a lot to pack in. But if there was something that I would do first, it would be Peru in Central and South America. No doubt about it. That's a great question for so many reasons. But yeah, Peru. If I was going to South America, Central or South America, Peru. No question about it. None. I'm so happy to finally get Egypt out of the way. So Egypt coming up in October, that's going to be a big deal. Okay. Fade to Black blend. Jonocide comes in with Jimmy. If you could replace Cliff Burton with any other member of Metallica, who would it be? Lars. Now, Kurt, maybe. Oh, wait a minute. And why Lars? Lars has gotten better, though. I didn't like his sound on the early Metallica records. On the Black album, I liked his sound, and I know that he said many times that Bob Rock, their producer, made him hit the drums really, really hard to get tone, and that's when Lars came alive. Before that, he was a tapper, and he didn't have tone. But so Lars is. I'm going to leave that right there. That's an excellent question, though. This is from Jerry Falling. Jerry says, Jimmy, let's see here. Hold on. Let's go here. Is a Les Paul Epiphone Slash and matching amp a deal for $207? What? Yeah, get it. Yeah, that's a good guitar, man. And getting the amp, I didn't know they made a Slash amp, but for $275, man, get the guitar. I like Epiphones. I've got a bunch of Epiphones, and I like Epiphones. Like check. You want to see a cool guitar? Check this out. I don't think I've ever shown this on the air, but check this out, everybody. This is an Epiphone Galacticon. All right, 24 frets. You know the show Metal Apocalypse, right? Metal Apocalypse. This is the Brendan Small Galacticon. So it's got the Galacticon logo right there of the spaceship. Oh man, I just put a ding. I just dinged it. This has got Gibson Burstbucker pickups. These are USA Burstbuckers. It's 24 frets, and it's got a Floyd Rose, a real Floyd. So this is a very, very cool guitar, and it's a friggin' Epiphone. Now, what makes this guitar extra special? That yes, it's 24 frets and everything, but check this out. Check out the back. It's all satin. So it's got a satin neck. 24 fret USA Gibson pickups, a beautiful top on it. Look at that. And this is an Epiphone, man. And I mean, it's not cheap. It's not expensive. Certainly not a cheap guitar, but it plays like butter. And it's beautiful. I love Epiphones. I've got a lot of Epiphones. There's no shame in my game, man. I love Epiphones. So if you've got access to an Epiphone / Les Paul for $275, you buy that all day long. And tell them Jimmy sent you. That's right. I'm serious. I'm being very, very serious about that. That's going to treat you well for many, many years. Let's see. What's your thoughts on Michael Salla? I have no thoughts on Michael Salla. So there's your answer there. I can't read this. Ladak, LDAK, Ladak 9. Did Scott Walter show you the artifact off the air, and how significant was it? Yes, he did. All right. So you're referring to the Scott Walter interview a couple of weeks ago, and he showed an artifact that he found underneath a rock in upstate New York, or I didn't say that. Somewhere on the East Coast. And they flipped over a rock. There was an artifact underneath it. They pulled it out. Holy crap. He showed it on the air, but it was all fuzzy, and he wouldn't show it up close. And so after the show, Scott and I and Janet, we sat and talked. It was like 2 hours, actually, after the show. And he showed me the artifact and why it freaked him out. Now, that's a Scott thing. When the time is right, he can do the reveal. But I did see it, and he showed me why he lost his mind. And I got to agree with Scott that he showed me 2 or 3 different things that were all tied together. And why, and I'm in agreement with Scott that I would have lost my mind too. Very interesting. It was kind of like a dark gray green, worn out. It's about this big. And there was something carved on it, but that's not up to me to discuss. But significant, pretty trippy. Yes, very significant. Oh my God. Yeah, it was like that. So there you go. Okay. I can't say anything more than that. And if Scott's listening right now, I know he's like, Church, slow down. You're still in the safe zone. Don't go there. So I'm not going to go there. I can't describe anything else than that. It just wouldn't be cool. But it was trippy. How significant was it? It was enough for me to go like that. Okay, Charles, will you please discuss the ring makers of Saturn on a future broadcast? Are you talking about the book Ring Makers of Saturn, which I have, or are you talking about something else? But it could be a future show. Yeah. Too long of a thing to like get into right now, but very interesting subject for sure. Let's see. Let me keep going down here. This is Shermanator Osborne. What do you think nubs on megaliths? I'll pop this up. What do you think the nubs on megaliths are all about? Okay, so which nubs? There are a few. Okay, there's a few different ways to look at this. So we would have to specifically talk about what site in what country, because if you look at the nubs that are in the walls in Peru, those are strange. And I would almost think that they don't look carved. Okay? They don't look carved to me. They look drippy. You know, they look like they were soft at one point. Now, what am I talking about here? When you look, so if you look at those nubs on, they happen all over the place, but let's just talk about Peru for now. I'll move on to another site in just a second. But I think that the first time that I saw those nubs, I thought they were like for a crane and they were grabbing what's on the backside. Is there another nub? And are they grabbing the nubs and lifting these rocks up and putting them into place? Is that what they were there for? That's my mind from 30 years ago. When I look at them now recently, like in the last 10 years, I look at them now and those walls, Paracas and so forth, they look molded. They look poured. They don't look carved. I don't understand how you would carve a 200-ton stone to 5 sides and have it fit into 4 more stones that are also carved in the same. How would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. Unless maybe these were hot or soft at one point and they were put into place and then they kind of settle into each other. Is that possible? And now let's get to the nubs. Could the nubs maybe were they, after they injection molded this or whatever they did they cut it off like toothpaste off a tube? You know, is that what that is? Is it the drip of something that was soft? You know, and I know that sounds strange, but when I look at them today, I thought that they were for moving the stones, but I don't think so now. They look drippy out. You know, and I hope I'm making some kind of sense here. But then if we go to, say, Göbekli Tepe, and you look at the top of the T-pillars, there are nubs on the top of the T-pillars. Now, what were those there for? And that says to me, and those were carved, you can clearly see that those were put up there. And it's hard to think of a 12,000-year-old civilization doing something like this. But this is what I think, and I've never heard anybody else say this. But when you see the T-pillars at Göbekli Tepe in a circle, right, and they're like this, and they have the T-pillar top, and then they have a nub, and the way that they're, I think those were for wooden, maybe stone, but I'm thinking wooden ceiling joists pointing to the center. And I think that those had roofs. That's what that looks like to me. That's what the T-pillars, I mean, that's the nubs on those were for joist. And then they had a roof. Yeah, that's my thought. That's my thought there. But there are nubs all over the place. You see them in Egypt. You know, what were they there for? I don't know. I don't know. So let's see. I have no questions. All I have to say is that your show has opened my mind. And that's from the Mothership Podcast. Thank you for that. That was in all caps, so that's why that got read. I make Casper look tan. Oh, man, that's white. Okay. Let's see. From Jamie. Telling that Starship 2 in the photo made rock in the Mars pic. Okay. I don't understand that. Let me read this one more time. Telling that Starship 2 in the photo made rock in the Mars pic. Okay, Jamie, you lost me on that one. Oh, here's a good one. It's from Sterling. Jimmy, would you UFO watch with Neil deGrasse Tyson? Yes, I would. There are, you know what? And I would do it for a few different reasons. Number one, if he was with us for the beer can UFO, if he was sitting right next to me, you know, Steve Murillo's right here and Neil deGrasse is right there, and the beer can UFO pops up and he gets to see that, I would love to hear. First off, he would have to witness it, and he now knows that he has seen a real UFO. He has seen an unidentified flying object that's 500 feet tall, 200 feet wide, black, spinning in the air, and he's going to have no explanation for it. None. Right? Okay. But then I get to hear his BS about it. Right? Would he then have the paradigm shift, and would he go on the air? Would he say, you know what? Stuff is going on. I've seen it. I was there. I can't explain it. Would he go there? Or would he say, you know what? I've lost my mind like everybody else that sees a UFO. I can't explain it. I'm going crazy, because that's what he says everybody else is. It's some kind of psychosis that everything can be explained, right? Now that's a daylight UFO. That would be incredible for Neil deGrasse Tyson to see. Now, what about a sky watch? There are different things that you see in a sky watch, and typically you are going to see a lot of very simple satellites traveling east-west, west-east, whatever, and you're seeing that. There's no question about it. But then there's the other stuff, you know, that you just can't explain. And like the green chrome balls, how would Neil deGrasse Tyson explain that away? A green chrome ball going across the desert floor and then turning up and then going up and turning into a star. How do you explain that, Neil? How would you explain that? So yes, I would love to have Neil deGrasse Tyson along with a Skywatch. And on a Skywatch, you know, and you're seeing these things up in deep space, it's fun to see things move around in the night sky. Probably most of them are satellites. Some of them are not. All right, it's that simple. See something change directions. You see something low. It's not, you know, orbiting the Earth, and you see something low, and you know a saucer flies overhead. I would love for Neil to just explain that. Right. So to hear his BS, I would love to be there for it. Would Neil have a Sunday go to meeting moment where he says out loud, something's visiting us from out there? Would he have that moment? Nah, no. I don't think he could disrupt his fan base, and his ego keeps him in check with that fan base. I don't think he will swing outside of it. No. And I don't think he would. What's the word that I want to use? If he had a religious experience, right? Right? Mary comes to visit him, or he talks to Jesus, or he gets baptized, sees the light, starts doing backflips in church. Does he talk about that? No, he can't interrupt that fan base of his, that atheist, that thing that he's got going on. I just don't think he would do it. I really don't. This comes from Woods Elf. Woods Elf. Have you ever seen the Men in Black? Yes. 2 experiences. Two experiences with the Men in Black. Let me look at the clock. The first one was at my house in Burbank, and I don't officially know that it was the Men in Black, because it was a woman and men in dark gray suits. But 2 days in a row, and the feds, and it was a trippy experience. Knocked at the door, and I answered the door, and I shut the door. It was a lady in a suit the first day, and with a computer or like an iPad or something. And then the next day, I shut the door on her. I was like, don't know who you are. She had a badge. She had ID. I didn't look. The next day, they come back, and now she's got like 3 football dudes in back of her. Big dudes. And I'll never forget, I didn't get a close look at the other 2. I was talking to her, but the one over her right shoulder to my left, that guy, red hair, crew cut. And this guy he had to have been 250 pounds. He was big, man, big football player, dude. And I did look at him, and I thought, and all 3 were like the same size, standing in back of her, trying to intimidate me and asked me a couple of very strange, direct questions. And I said, you got to go. Now, when I shut the door, I blew it. I should have grabbed my cell phone. I should have ran outside. I think they had 2 Crown Vics in front. That's what I remember. I should have photographed the cars. I should have videotaped them, and I didn't do it. The other Men in Black that I had was here, and I've told the story, but I got followed by a black SUV through town, and on my tail, and it was a very scary experience. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it. And it was intimidating. Yeah. Black SUV. Never saw who was driving it. Tinted windows. Couldn't see inside. They could see me, but I couldn't see them. So I've had those 2. Now, have I had others? When I was, this other one wasn't official, like those 2 that I told. Those were real experiences. But when I was coming back from the Laughlin conference, I pulled out of Laughlin. This was last year, 2 years ago. Last year? When was it? I think it was last year. And I can't remember what conference it was. It was definitely Laughlin. And I get on the freeway. But as I was pulling out of Laughlin, there was a black SUV behind me. And I get on the freeway, and for the next 50, 60 miles, this black SUV was on my butt. And I did a live stream with this thing. And then during the live stream, it pulled up next to me. And that was bizarre. And then pulled in front of me and sat there, slowed down. And then I kind of panicked. And that's when I pulled over the next gas station that came up. I waited. I didn't turn on my turn signals. And then I and left the SUV going straight. I pull off. I had to get gas, by the way. And I was waiting for it to make a U-turn and come back, but it never did. I filled up my tank full of gas, got back on the road, didn't see anything. But they were behind me for like an hour and a half, and sometimes uncomfortably close. But that wasn't that was a black SUV. That wasn't like the Men in Black SUV. That was a real experience. I asked for it. It happened. I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. And then the other one was at my house. Yeah. There you go. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our AMA, and I'm going to take a quick break. I'll come back and we'll do this last segment of your questions. If you have any, I'm going to try to get to all of them. All caps in the chat room. You can post over hashtag F2B on Twitter, hashtag F2BQ, also on Facebook. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hello, Fadernauts. Jimmy Church here. You've seen me with my thunderstorm. Now you can purify the air in your home and get healthy, clean, fresh-smelling air and eliminate odors just like I do right here in the bunker. The Eden Pure Thunderstorm uses oxy technology that naturally sends out O3 molecules into the air, which seek out odors and air pollutants in your home and destroys them. It's called a thunderstorm because it purifies the air just like after a thunderstorm. And right now, you can save $200 on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. With this special offer, you're getting 3 units for under $200. Seriously. Go to EdenPureDeals.com and use Fader3. Shipping is free and it's easy. Just scroll down. You'll see my name right there, Jimmy Church. Click on it and get your deal today. That's EdenPureDeals.com.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. And I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can, right now, get your own free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX DB, the X.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UNX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, our AMA, Ask Me Anything. I love these shows and so much fun to do. And I'm going to try to rapid fire as many questions as I can. I'm not going to be able to get to them all. And let's see. Okay. Let's see. Olivia says, Jimmy, any word on contact in the desert? No. I don't know if it's coming back. I have not heard anything. And from anybody, anywhere. So I don't know. If I knew something, I would tell you. I don't know if contact in the desert is coming back. It might, but nobody has talked to me about it. Okay. Fade to black blend. James Kessler says, do you denounce... Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, I'm going to post this because I'm out of the gate. I don't know. Do you denounce the buckboard bounce? And does the cactus hurt your toe? Stump the panel right there. Okay. Let's see. Wonder if my man Mel's hole was legit. Sounds weird, but you know what I mean. Okay. Mel's hole. I just mentioned it was one of my top 3 Art Bell shows of all time. No question about it. But here's the deal. All right. So I believe, you have the urban legend part and then you have the facts part about this. I've gone back and listened to the show. I believe Mel's hole turned out to be a caller. His name was Mel. Calls in and Art kept him on the show for 4 hours. And so Mel tells a story about a hole that he found on his property that was bottomless. And it went on for 4 hours. It was now there is Radio Gold and then there is that show. All right. It took things to another level of just Radio Gold. Okay. So I guess it's platinum, Radio Platinum. And now I've listened to the show many, many times. And then so the next night he brings Mel back for night 2, which was almost as good as night 1. Right? Okay. And there was a few subsequent shows after that. But anyway, so let's get back to Mel's hole. So Mel, over time, became legendary, right? So you have the Mel's whole story, but then you kind of had the facts behind it. And this is the thing. Mel ended up saying that he showed up one day, he pulls up and like the CIA was there, the Drug Enforcement, the DEA, I think, the FBI, and they're at the hole and accused him of whatever. And that they were going to take possession of it. I can't remember the specifics, but anyway, the story kind of unraveled at that point for me. Didn't take anything away from night 1. And the reason for that is you want a good, entertaining show. And that show was entertaining at a level that everything else is measured by. No question about it. It was riveting. But Mel, it turns out, I think he went to Australia and started a mink farm or something. I don't know what the deal is. Then he says he came back and found another hole. Some of the Native American tribes took him to another hole that had a hatch on it, and there was this other hole. Now, the specifics of the hole itself, the people in town didn't know anything about it. There was, this and that, and the story itself came apart, and that bummed me out that Mel made it all up. Okay, I was sort of bummed, but it didn't take away from my experience of listening to the show live and going back and listening to it over and over again. It was radio gold, and you can't really you can't use that term loosely. You've got to be when you say that, call something radio gold, it has to be. And Mel's Hole was just that, but it was just a story. All right. So now I don't know that as a fact, right? I never met Mel. I never went out to find Mel's Hole. I never know, but nobody did. It didn't exist, but it was a great night on the air. Okay. I always enjoyed Fight Club. If you could fight anyone, who would it be? I wouldn't mind getting knocked out by Mike Tyson. If I could fight anybody, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'd get in the ring with Mike Tyson just so I could say I got in the ring with Mike Tyson. It wouldn't end well, but Jimmy, are you addicted to this show as we are? I am. Jimmy, this is from Philip. If you could interview anyone from the past on your show, who would it be? Lloyd Pye. Lloyd Pye. I never got to interview Lloyd Pye. Zachariah Sitchin would be another one. Lloyd Pye, only because I just loved his personality and I liked his take on things. Plus, I thought he was pretty funny. So Lloyd Pye. Yeah, Lloyd Pye. George Van Tatt. If I went to the deep past, Lloyd Pye is recent. He passed away, I think, about 10 years ago, and died suddenly of cancer. So I never got a chance to interview Lloyd Pye. But George Van Tassel, that would be a great interview. J. Allen Hynek, great interview. Carl Sagan, another great interview. Arthur C. Clarke, would love to interview Arthur C. Clarke. Donald Kehoe. Yeah, that would be Kenneth Arnold. That would be strong. Jesse Marcel, the Ridge from Roswell. That would be a fun interview. Yeah. But out of all of it, just Lloyd Pye is somebody that I just kick back and go, man. I've listened to all of Lloyd Pye's stuff. I've watched every interview, every presentation that I can find on him, and I just found him so genuine and so intriguing. Yeah, Lloyd Pye. And if you haven't checked out Lloyd Pye, if you're new to ufology or lost history and these ideas, Lloyd Pye is somebody that you should go and check out. Pye is his last name, Lloyd Pye. Go and check him out. Just an incredible researcher of the tippity top of everything. Love Lloyd Pye. Jimmy, do you believe in God? Yes and no. What is God in relation to the universe? Okay, well, if you're talking about like the God in the Bible, any Bible, any version of God in the Bible, it depends on how you want to interpret that. And I'm not doing a dance here. I believe that there is something out there. There's an intelligence in this universe that is responsible for creating stuff. Now, is that God? Then I believe in that God for sure. If we go back to the oldest versions of the Bible and we take a hard look at that And there are many great researchers out there that cover this really, really well. L.A. Marzulli is one of them. That is that alien or ET contact, and it very, very well may be. But so I'm not sure, And do we time travel back to those days to see what was really going on? There's really no way to tell. But the sequencing of DNA, RNA, DNA, and that magic that is there, I don't think that was a chance of nature. I can't accept that. I just can't. The odds of winning the lottery, okay, that is simple compared to the odds of DNA sequencing and us being us and bananas being bananas. And the DNA that makes up coffee is, and the DNA that pineapples and dogs, what's going on with that? I just don't think that that's accidental. I think it's on purpose, and so is that divine? Is that spiritual? Or is that also just science and some intelligence out there that is doing this creation? I don't know. But I just don't think it's nature. I don't. No, I don't accept that. I don't accept that. Let's keep moving on. Thought on Art Bell. Art Bell is brought up in my life every single day. Somebody brings up Art Bell. I'll be on a phone call. It's in an email. It's in this AMA. Thank you, Susie. Thought on Art Bell. Very, very simple. I was driving, doing sales, for Elisa's, and I'm driving in Southern California. And I would do these long road trips from San Diego back to Sherman Oaks in a day. So I do instead of spending the night in San Diego, and I only did that a couple of times. I didn't enjoy it. I'd rather just drive home, and no matter what time I got home. So I would do these late night drives, and suddenly one night on talk radio, Art Bell's there, coast to coast, and brand new show. And I'm listening, and I'm driving home, and that night, so I'm listening. I couldn't stop. It's like, holy crap, right? This is perfect. I get home. I pull into my garage. Now I've got to turn off my radio in my car, and I didn't want to lose a thing. I run upstairs, and I get into the house, and I can't find it on my home stereo. It's like my AM antenna wasn't hooked up. And I was bummed. The next day, I went to whatever stereo store, and I buy an AM radio for my nightstand, and I'm ready. That night, and I'm dialing. I can't find it. And I've got the AM antenna hooked up. Couldn't find it. I took that radio back. The next day, I bought another one, and it was a Sony. I'll never forget this. And I come back home, and I hook in, you had this wire AM antenna plugged in the back. And that night I'm done. And I find it. There it is, Art Bell. And I'm listening, and it was like the radio. It was like the craziest thing. And what I didn't know that at the time, this is at the beginning, that Coast to Coast is across the street from my house. But anyway, now I'm listening. And Art, from that moment forward, changed things, not only for me personally, but for everybody. And I think that he was the right person at the right time. The internet was just starting, and these subjects and radio was still a thing. It's not a thing today. unless you're in your car. Who listens to the radio at home? Some people still do, but it's an internet world now. But back then, it was like the last great radio thing. And if you remember, at that time, you had Howard Stern was still on the radio, and a few others. Stern, a few years later, leaves for Sirius XM, so he was off of the air. Art quit a few times. But that period, 1994, 95, 96, 97, that was like the last greatness of radio. And Art owned it. He owned it. He owned it. He had me every single night, no matter where I was. If I was at home, I was listening. And if I was in my car, I was listening. If I was in another state, I was traveling all around the United States for my job. And rental cars, man, and 10 o'clock at night, wherever I was, midnight, I'm in there dialing for Art Bell, and he owned it. So there was no question. Now, it was an honor and a privilege to sort of, our paths crossed, and that was crazy. And yes, I went on to Coast. All of that was crazy for me too, to have all of that happen later on in life. Who would have thought that would have happened? But he had a huge, huge impact on me, just like he did with everybody else. Jimmy, please tell us a crazy, sober story. What? Oh, man, a crazy, sober story. Oh, man. Crazy sober story. I can't say specifically the rental car company, but driving to Roswell on the freeway, and I rented, and it was with Rita, and we rented a Chrysler 300 V8, black on black with tinted windows, dual exhaust, V8 Hemi, nice. And we're barreling down the freeway from Albuquerque to Roswell. And it was probably midnight. It was dark. There's nothing out there. No lights or anything. We're doing 100, 120. I was taking pictures and just no cars, nobody coming at us, nobody behind us, nobody in front of us. We're all alone and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in the middle of the freeway at 110 miles an hour, is a semi-truck tire in my lane, and I hit it full speed. Boom, launched into the air, hit the freeway. Obviously didn't crash. I drove 55 miles an hour the rest of the way into Roswell that night. Crazy. Stone cold sober. That's right. Talk about seeing your life flash. It caught us completely by surprise, and I couldn't avoid it. Let's see. Jimmy, how did you get started in interest in UFOs? This is from Fernando. My mom and my next door neighbor growing up. I was 8 years old, 8, 9. John Dubrava was my neighbor, and that's how it all started. Okay. What is the best book and movie on UFOs? The best book, there's many, but I really like Avi Loeb's new book, Extraterrestrial. And I realize that's a new book, but if you're going to go old, I've got to go. Oh no, don't brain fart now, Jimmy. At the end of the show, Timothy Good's book. It's blue with white writing. Man, I can't remember the title of the book. I can't. Top Secret. Top Secret by Timothy Good. That is the best movie on UFOs. I still Anything by James Fox is great. But you got to go. You got to go. Chariots of the Gods, Eric Von Daniken, and still to this day the best soundtrack. So yeah, there you go. I'm at the end of the night. Let me see. Jimmy, are you really in a bunker, or are you just saying that like a pet name for your crib? Now it's a pet name. Used to be a bunker. Many bunkers ago. Let's see if I can squeeze in one more. Jessica says, how do you like my little present? I love it. It's right here, Jessica. It's sitting right here in the bunker. And she's talking about the abduction, the cow abduction. Look at that. How cool is that? You flip open the lid and you turn it on. There's the little dude. Press his head. Love it, Jessica. Thank you for this. Sits right here in the bunker right next to me. And it's never going to go anywhere. Randy Rhodes, Bon Scott, John Bonham, Les Claypool. Yes, the answer is yes. Oh, is that the All-Star Band? That's a good band. Randy Rhodes, Bon Scott, John Bonham, Les Claypool. But Les Claypool's still alive. But Robert Plant. Yeah, I know, right? I agree. Okay, let me scroll down. Let me see. I have some other stuff that is marked here. But we are at the end of the night. I was going to Jimmy, please tell me about the time you saw a 500-year-old man. I can't tell that story on the air. I can't. They'll come and get me. Jimmy, what do you love most in life? Doing this show. When you find your bliss, things change. And I've been wanting to do this my entire life. I've now been doing some form of radio now since 2008. That is 14, almost 15 years. And this is it. Yeah, there it is. Thank you for that, Donna. Top Secret. That's what it's called. Top Secret by Timothy Good, the worldwide UFO cover-up. That is the book. So if you can get it. Let's see, Jimmy. Okay, man, we're at the end of the show. Name 3 legendary investigators in any field of research. Legendary. John Anthony West and Robert Schoch. Graham Hancock. Let me keep this going. Let's see. Investigator. And Linda Moulton Howe, of course, at the top of that list. That's 4. Do I keep going? I just mentioned Lloyd Pye, by the way. George Knapp, great investigator. George Knapp, top of the list. And there you go. With that, I got to go. I got to get out of here. I've got to run credits and say goodnight, everybody. I just thank you. What a perfect night on the show. I love doing these AMAs. I will never stop doing them. Seriously, it's like a perfect night on the air. Fade to Black is produced by Hill J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmasters, Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and this broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2022 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tomorrow night, Nick Redfern, Our Strange World. Until then, I want everybody to be safe. Go Backley Tappy.